Welcome to Steve's Cottage with Steve Horner. Steve Horner, a former radio talk show host, helps spotlight the source of today's social chaos while offering practical solutions to the problems negatively affecting you and your family. And now, here's Steve.
Heading up to San Francisco for the Labor Day weekend show. Hey, folks, I wanted to do all you parrot heads wanted to do a little tribute to your hero, Jimmy Buffett, who passed away this last week. I think he was about 76 years old, and I too was a fan of Jimmy Buffett. So I kind of wanted to do a little parrot head look for you today. Well, welcome into Steve's Cottage. I'm Steve Horner, and you can find me in my books at stevehornerbooks.com. This program is called Steve's Cottage, and this particular episode is The Sorrowful Jew. Sounds rough? Well, I think you'll understand it when I explain it to you. This is where, right here, at Steve's Cottage, is where idealism meets reality in a lot of different topics, and don't we need more and more reality these days? Over the years, as I was preparing this program, which is a 25-minute show, I was thinking about all the different radio ads that I've written and produced over the years since my radio career started in a small community, and then I went on to a medium community, and then to a large community, and then had my own advertising agency all the way up until about 2005 is when I wrapped it up. Over the years, I figured I wrote about 6,500 30 and 60-second commercials. Wrote them, produced them. And I always wanted to stay to a certain formula. First of all, get the attention of the listener, and then build value, and then create desire, and then ask for the sale. So as I'm writing this 25-minute commercial here called Steve's Cottage, it's like producing a 25-minute ad, really, because I'm following the basic formula. I'm trying to get your attention. I'm trying to build value. I'm trying to create desire, and I'm asking for the sale. Now, my question to you is this, parrot heads and everybody else. Okay, here's the question. Okay? What am I trying to sell you? Think about it. What am I trying to sell you on this 25-minute show? So the chick says, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "How do I look?" She says, "You look fantastic." And I said, "I got chills. They're multiplied. And I'm losing control. 'Cause the power you're supplying, it's electrifying. Yeah, you better wake up there, baby. I need some men for America. Not pussies. I need some men for America. And we are really not acting all that manly out there, are we? No, we're not. The cunts are taking control. Now, in this show, don't be offended, in this show, cunts is an acronym called Can't Understand Normal Thinking. It's C period, U period, N period, T period. And the women have their periods, of course, but we men, well, we're supposed to have our exclamation points. We're supposed to be fighters. And I'm not talking about the terrorists that busted into the Capitol on January 6th. Definitely overkill. Definitely. I'm talking about scrutinizing your legislator, your senator, your congresspeople, the Jew media. That's right, the Associated Press. Most of your radio television stations run by Jews. Jews being liberal. 80% of them vote liberal. Same with women. They vote 80% liberal. And the women, you see, they're wired differently than men. And so why do we continue to vote for them when they're voting sentimentalism? Oh, the poor Mexican, he deserves to come in here, you see, because even though he's illegal, he deserves to be a citizen and to leech on to American handouts. Oh, don't you dare spank that child, because if you do, I'll call the police, you see? So then the kid continues on with his dysfunctional behavior. And that's the nature of women, is their sentimentalism versus the man's pragmatism, cause and effect. If I don't give that kid a loving spanking right now and a talking to, then that bad behavior probably is going to continue. So that's cause and effect. And that's why we continue to have the chaos that we didn't used to have in this country up until the mid-'70s. And that's when the women started running for office, and that's when they started being elected based on the poor me attitude, okay? It's like a father calling his daughter princess. Oh, come on, princess, you deserve some favors, okay? It's like ladies' night, gender-based pricing. Come on, you deserve favors when it's tits at the bar time. Really? I thought places of public accommodation were supposed to give equal protection to all protected classes, which include men and women based on their gender, and the alphabet people as well, and race and religion. But you see, the favor granting is what the women have grown to understand and use and employ to get their way. Because if you talk down on them, what, don't you like women? What are you, a misogynist? What, do you got a problem? Now, the Jews have employed that, and so then therefore, you don't want to do anything but coddle them. Because you don't want to be called a misogynist or mean or evil or a bully. And so they have taken advantage of that and played that poor me card. And the sorrowful Jew has played that same thing. The oppression and disadvantaged sorrowful Jew and the sentimental, oppressed and disadvantaged female. And they've been successful in America by employing that poor me attitude. No thanks to the pussy-whipped man in America. That's why we need more men, not pussies. We need more men to stand up for what's right, to get the kids to church, to pay attention to the Ten Commandments, to vote with the for the person who's going to best serve the long-term values and benefits and goals of your community and of the United States, but not for the poor me attitude because she deserves it. Or, the oppression and disadvantage mentality. And of course, also, let's vote for the woman because I want to enjoy sex at home and let my sweetheart know that I voted for her. Or maybe because I'm a chivalrous guy and I want to extend my chivalry to this. Or maybe just plain harmony at home. Meanwhile, the women and the Jews continue to play that sorrowful, pathetic situation so that they get the vote out of sympathy rather than pragmatism. And all you have to do is take a look around you and see the arrogance and vindictiveness of those certain cultures to see if your sentimentalism, to see if your granting favors to this crowd are doing you and your community and your family any good. Look in the mirror, folks. It's not doing any good at all. The chaos is absolutely going through the roof. Everybody blaming each other. But they aren't doing anything proactively as they should. It's kind of like the big dog crapping in your yard. Hey, how did this dog get into my yard? So let's talk about politics, social policies, and translate that to the big dog who comes and craps in your yard. All of a sudden, you're wondering, hey, what's going on at my school board? Hey, what's going on down at the street light? Hey, what's going on with, our congressperson or our senator? All of a sudden, you're negatively impacted by your apathy. You see? We need real men to fight that apathy and get in there and fight for pragmatism, which is cause and effect, not sympathy, not the sorrowful Jew thing, not the sorrowful cunt thing, but the pragmatism and the pragmatic qualities of this person. So when all of a sudden you're negatively impacted by some of these idiot policies, and metaphorically speaking, the dog now has crapped in your yard, you're saying to yourself, especially the women, hey, how did this happen? Why is this happening to me? Well, it's happening to you, sweetheart, because instead of waiting for the big dog to come and crap in your backyard, you should have been more proactive and stopped those lousy policies when that big dog was simply circling your neighborhood. You know, when I talk about the sorrowful Jew, you know about the Holocaust, and you ask people why, especially asking Jews, well, why do you think the Holocaust happened? Well, because the Germans are racist, really. So it wasn't anything about your behavior. It wasn't the fact that you were spreading lies and evil and nasty commentary in the newspapers where you started to own, engineer, and perpetuate in Germany during that conservative time, and your liberalism was calling out those who wanted to continue to profess that conservatism while you wanted to profess your homosexuality and your drugs and your divorce and your gay lifestyle and all that. You don't think that had anything to do with it? You don't think that because, Jews have been the center of liberalism for 200 years. You don't think that had anything to do with it? No, nothing. No. It's racism. They just don't like the race. Well, you have to understand that really doesn't make any sense, does it? Okay? So the story is two-folded. The story has two shoes. And that's what the people who want to perpetuate the horrors of the Holocaust, the Anne Frank story and so on, they don't want you to know that. But the line and lineage of what has been said about Jews, probably by Jews, goes back several hundred years. As I was writing those radio commercials, I used to have a book, I still have it, a book of quotations. And so as I was writing this, I wanted to go to that 300-page book, a paperback book of quotations, to see what it says about Jews, to see if it has anything in there about Jews. And it does. It's the only culture, race, and or religion that's in there. Jews. Here's one. It says, a people still whose common ties are gone, who mixed with every race are lost in none. Here's one. It says, yes, I am a Jew. And when the ancestors of the right honorable gentlemen were brutal savages in an unknown island, mine were priests in the temple of Solomon. You see, that upright feeling of, we're a little better than you. Here's one from, well, you'll know who this is. If my theory of relativity is proven successful, Germany will claim me as a German, and France will declare that I am a citizen of the world. Should my theory prove untrue, France will say that I am a German, and Germany will declare that I am a Jew. Right? it was kind of a win, kind of like a no-win situation for Jewish Albert Einstein. Here's one. The Jews are among the aristocracy of every land. Oh, did you know that? If a literature is called rich in the possession of a few classic tragedies, what shall we say to a national tragedy lasting for 1,500 years, in which the poets and the actors were also the heroes? How about this one? Who gave the patient Christ? I say. Who gave your Christian creed? Yea, yea. Who gave your very God to you? Your Jew. Your Jew. Ah, your hated Jew. See, the Jew wants to come along and claim credit for giving Christ to you. But yet the Jew doesn't believe in the Trinity, doesn't believe in the divinity of God. So there's a lot of hypocrisy and a lot of double standards. And when the Jew professes his or her conservatism and votes liberalism to vote in the source of all of today's chaos, it causes a great deal of commotion. Here's one. His cup is gall, his meat is tears, his passion lasts 1,000 years. And this one from the Old Testament, and Israel shall be a proverb and a byword among all people. When Israel of the Lord beloved out of the land of bondage came, her father's God before her moved, an awful guide in smoke and flame. Here's one. Still I have borne it with a patient shrug, for sufferance is the badge of all our tribe. The poor me thing, right? Just like the women, the poor me, the second-class citizen. We've worked so hard to get that 19th Amendment so that we could at least vote. And still you shut us down. Here we are still not making we're not making an equal amount of money as men do. The poor you. It doesn't, that formula never takes into account that women, have a low percentage of taking on dangerous and skilled jobs in correlation and reference to not making as much money as men. However, when they're in the same profession, doing the same obligations and chores, they are making 100%. But you remember the day when it said, yeah, we only make like 70% of what the men do and everything, you see. And then we got to do it. We got to stay home and do all the dishes and the groceries and the laundry and, see, just kind of playing that poor me thing. Oh, yes, dear, I know, right? So you suck up to them, just like the Jews, okay? Oh, yeah, you don't like Jews, or you must be racist, huh? Okay, so you want me to side with your sorrowful oppression and disadvantage song fest, right? Here's one. You call me misbeliever, cutthroat dog, and spit upon my Jewish gabardine. That's Shakespeare. See, this talk about Jews has been going on for a long, long time, and nobody talks about why the conflict, why the conversation, why doesn't the conversation exist about why these differences exist? Why did Karl Marx, the Jew, write the Communist Manifesto? Oh, he did? Yeah, he did. You didn't know that, did you? A lot of you parrot heads don't know that. Karl Marx was a Jew, kicked out of over 12 countries. because of his liberalism. Here's one. Hath not a Jew eyes? Hath not a Jew hands? Or fed with the same food? Hurt with the same weapon? If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if wrong us, shall we not revenge? Oh, yeah. A lot of revenge there with the history of Jews and Gentiles. A lot of revenge. I think it was a lot of revenge that actually led to the Holocaust. So what we have here is the last one here. This says, a race prone to superstition, opposed to religion. Okay. You know, back in the early World War I era of history, you had the Jews, who were known then as the Bolsheviks, taking over the old ancient conservative Tsar in Germany. The Bolsheviks had gained quite a bit of power. And so in that 1917 Bolshevik Revolution, they took over the Tsar in Russia. And I've often said and have noticed, and I'm making it aware to you, doesn't Bolshevik sound a lot like bullshit? It really does. Well, then Stalin came along and, killed 30 million Bolsheviks. And so, that's the type of seesaw that we have with Jews blaming everybody for their racism, whereas really what I think they ought to do is start practicing listening, understanding, and frankly, folks, being a team player instead of gaining arrogance and vindictiveness because everybody else is a racist. Don't we all get a little tired of that? Say, Jewish folks do own and manipulate and perpetuate the media in the United States. And women are certainly gaining traction with a lot of power plays. And I don't think it's a real good mix for conservative values when you get the Jew press siding with the liberal women, the sentimental women, to gain traction in a certain momentum or an agenda that makes no sense. So as I've told you here before, Las Vegas, Clark County School District, one of the biggest in the country, is run by 9 women. Okay? Now they have a problem. Nobody's showing up for school. 39% of the 2022 school year met when the hell am I here? Well, anyhow, 36, both rates are much higher than the numbers were. Okay, resorting last gave the school board an update on chronic absenteeism. Okay, it's like 39% of these kids don't show up daily. They just don't show up. And then the other day after they just don't show up. Bad parenting or absentee parenting or no consequences by these 9 school board cunts, you see? And so then the other day, the majority of these teachers did not show up back to school from their Labor Day weekend. Probably up to San Francisco partying with the parrot heads. But that's what we have when we have cunts in control. And then the Jew press comes along and somehow condones it and sanctifies it, and then we continue to wonder where the chaos is coming from. Well, folks, thank you for joining me here at Steve's Cottage. As you're making your way to the top of your mountains each day, you stop and take the less traveled road because it'll build your self-esteem quicker, stronger. It'll provide you with better rewards, better memories, be better for you. Say, until next time, this is Steve Horner. You take real good care of yourself.
Thanks for joining us. Visit Steve's Cottage again with Steve Horner.